Radioactivity is a natural phenomenon. Everything around us is radioactive to some extent and emits radiation. Besides the radiation that is present in nature, the properties of radioactive radiation are used by people in numerous applications. Radioactive waste is produced during the production of electricity in nuclear power stations, the dismantling of nuclear facilities, and the use of radioactive substances in research, industry, and medicine. A small fraction of this waste is highly radioactive. After being unloaded from the nuclear reactor, spent nuclear fuel can be reprocessed. This operation separates the still usable fissile materials from the waste materials. The highly radioactive waste is mixed with molten glass and poured into stainless steel containers. The radioactive waste is stored temporarily in the town of Dessel in the Antwerp-Campine region. The highly radioactive waste is stored inside a special building. The drums are positioned by remote control from within a shielded control room. Most radioactive waste remains hazardous for longer than a human lifetime. That's why long-term management of radioactive waste is a special undertaking. A sustainable solution must protect humans and the environment for thousands to hundreds of thousands of years. In addition to technical aspects, a sustainable solution also encompasses societal aspects. It's therefore essential that decisions as to the long-term management of this waste are made through a transparent, democratic decision-making process. This requires a step-by-step approach, always based on the most recent knowledge and insights. Scientists around the world believe that deep disposal can be a safe way of managing radioactive waste in the long term. In Belgium, the repository would consist of a network of underground galleries in a deep clay layer. The repository would be accessible via shafts. These shafts would open out onto a main gallery. The main gallery would then provide access to the disposal galleries. It's in these galleries that the radioactive waste would be stored. The drums containing the radioactive waste would be placed 2 by 2 in a carbon steel shell. This would then be encased in a concrete cylinder, which in turn would be surrounded by a stainless steel cylinder. Together, these packing layers make up a so-called supercontainer. The supercontainer itself would be manufactured above ground. Once the disposal galleries have been filled completely with supercontainers, the galleries would be backfilled. After the placement of the waste and the backfilling of the disposal galleries, the repository can remain accessible for a certain time before its final closure from the outside world. The clay guarantees that the radioactive substances are released only very slowly. By the time they enter the biosphere, they would be sufficiently decayed and no longer be dangerous.